Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have ourselves a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma Winter. Our heroes today are going to be two very amazing players. That is going to be HelpingHans playing for the Germans, and his opponent is going to be none other than BartonPL playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. Now, pretty sure you know both players, but, well, in case you don't, let's talk about them a little bit. Very, very good players. Very well known anyways, but, well. HelpingHans, the one in the blue right now, is currently, at the time of casting this, ranked number 3rd overall for his German play. Number 3, so, yeah. Very high up there. And his Soviet play is also very good. It's number 13, so top 20 anyway, so amazing player. So we should have a very good game. And Barton, his opponent, is no scrub himself. He is, at the time of casting this, ranked 39th for his Soviet play, which, I mean, compared to HelpingHans, might not seem as impressive, but it's still amazingly good. And his German play is 12th, so either way, he's still a very high up there player. And in fact, he's so good that he is currently one of the finalists for the Sunday Night Fights Season 5 tournament. So it is going to be pretty awesome to see him in the finals, and, well, hopefully we'll have an amazing set of games. But semifinals still have not happened at the time of casting this, so yeah, it's going to be a while before we do that. But anyways, let's take a look at the game. So far, we have nothing really happening. First engagement down south, we have Grenadiers and Conscripts engaging. 2 Conscripts coming in from the south for HelpingHans. Not HelpingHans, sorry, for Barton. And HelpingHans backs off a little bit with his Grenadiers. The Pios down south now getting engaged by the Conscripts. The Conscripts running down to the strategic point and denying them the ability to cap it. And they move over to the left-hand side to have some range against those SMGs. And down goes one of the Pios, but the Grenadier Squad does move down south to support, so the Conscripts are forced to backpedal a little bit, and they get themselves into heavy cover behind that tractor. Very nice. I was going to say that you see now that Barton has selected his Doctrine, and that is the Partisan's Doctrine. You can see it right there. Partisan's Doctrine, not a very widely used Doctrine, at least not in 1v1s. But it's very interesting, as you can see right here. It gives you the radio intercept, which is essentially map hacks. Now, essentially, it tells you, what your enemy is producing, so it's, giving you heads up there. So it's very nice. There's, I believe, 2 other doctrines that have that, and they're pretty interesting. Aside from that, it also gets you the partisan troops, which is both tank hunters and irregulars, or partisan troops that have just some weapons and grenades and stuff. But the ability with them, the special thing about them, is that you can spawn them anywhere in the map without line of sight inside of any building. So you can very easily spawn them behind enemy lines, both to surprise your enemy or even to deny buildings. Like if somebody is rushing, like for example, if you wanted this building and you see these conscripts like rushing towards it, you could pop a partisan squad in there and deny them that cover. Not that you would do it in this shack right here, but you get the idea, right? So big engagement down south here. We've seen 2 Grenadier squads, sorry, with the Pios and an MG42 coming down south. However, we do have a partisan squad now popping into the field. They popped into this shack. They were equipped with an LMG. Is that only 1 LMG or 2? It looks like it's only 1 LMG in this spot. But MG42 burst opens up and annihilates the partisan squad, manages to retreat down to 1 man. Keep in mind, these are not troops, these are irregulars, just, militia essentially. And they get annihilated very quickly. They do have an upgrade to increase their health, but it doesn't increase it that much. Essentially, they become as strong as conscripts, which aren't really that strong. So, partisans are definitely no mainline troops. Very nice here for Barton, though. He does manage to catch that MG42 on the retreat. The LMG Grunts are trying to hold the line, and they might be able to do so. It's 1 man left on that conscript squad, gets annihilated. A little bit mismanaged there by Barton. Moves up with another conscript squad to throw a Molotov, but the Grenadier squad is forced to retreat in the end. However, with more troops coming onto the field and another partisan squad called in into this point, the MG42 will fall to the hands of Barton, and that is a nice victory for Barton there. Unfortunate for HelpingHans. So HelpingHans only has 4 Grenadier squads on the field now, and you can see here that Barton has quite a bit of troops. He has 3 conscripts, 2 partisans, and an MG42 that got stolen, plus his combat engineer, of course. Partisans trying to hold their line against all these troops. These come equipped with LMGs, either the LMG from the Germans or I believe 2, maybe even 3 DP light machine guns. So yeah, I mean, you can't keep them in the house just to be a little bit more protective and, you know, provide some nice power there. So anyways, engagement down south, conscripts and grenadiers duking it out. The Partisans do move down south to engage. Oh, but a nice rifle nade there by HelpingHans annihilates the entire Partisan squad. Down they go to run grenade, and that is one squad less to deal with. Conscripts now down to 2 men, forced to retreat in the center, down to 1 man. Can he make it out alive? He is being focused fired by the Grens. Can he make it out? It looks like he will make it out. The Grenadiers do end up retreating in the face of another Molotov, and Grenadiers with LMGs pull back up while another LMG moves on to the left-hand side to support the conscripts. Quite brutal fighting going on here. It is back and forth. And it, yeah. So long-range engagement right here in the center. Nothing really going on. We do see that HelpingHans has gone for tier 2 and is getting himself a half-track from that. We'll be able to support his grenadiers quite effectively with that. However, there are Partisan tank hunters that he has to worry about. Those spawns, those spawn with either 3, I believe, PTR res rifles, which means they actually have more firepower than guards against vehicles, that is. Or a Shrek. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but they can't spawn with a Panzer Shrek, which is quite potent, as you probably know. So conscripts forced to retreat in the face of all the enemies. The Partisans are trying to hold the line with their LMG, and there is a stolen MG42 behind them opening fire on the squads. However, it is opening up on the Grenadiers in heavy cover, which means they are being able to stave off the suppression. The Partisans push forward against the Grens with their LMG, but they are not combat troops. They are going to take quite a beating there and are going to be forced to retreat. They did take a decent amount of punishment, so I think those already have the upgrade, but I might be wrong, I don't know. MG42 packing up, the half-track pushing forward, Grenadiers getting behind the MG42. The MG42 gonna have to retreat. It is a 5-man squad, so it will make it out alive. Down with one of the men, but 4 men still left. Should be fine. Up north, we see some combat engineers for Barton moving around, laying down some mines. Very nice. In the center, we have more movement by HelpingHans, just capturing territories and reconnecting the south. Southern fuel point getting captured by the Grens. And not much going on. Panzer Grenadiers getting produced. We see that Barton is not actually getting himself any type of tech so far. The Doctrine itself doesn't provide you any call-ins as far as vehicles goes. You do have the spy network there that says using underground infiltration units temporarily reveal all enemy units in the minimap, so map hacks. And then mark vehicle, but yeah, you're going to need some type of vehicles to be able to combat the Germans, but well, we'll see what happens. So anyways, down south, we have engagements, Grenadiers pushing in force. There's 3 Grenadier squads moving down south to push away that 1 conscript squad. The conscripts back off and get it again into the heavy cover of that tractor, forcing that Grenadier squad to retreat, and all of the squads actually end up retreating in full. Not entirely sure why HelpingHans is pushing all his units back, but, well, that is what's happening. Interesting. See if I can fix this color a little bit. It looks a little bit too bright, I think.
They're killing us!
I don't think it makes much of a difference. But anyways, okay. So Blizzard is going to be incoming. We see Panzer Grenadiers now hitting the field. They are trying to annihilate that combat engineer, and they do. Very nice. Run into the MG42 and instantly retreat. So we have a med banker back at base. Bunker going down, so yeah, the medic bunker is going to be going down. Going to heal up his troops as soon as he can, and everything is currently back at base for HelpingHans. He does get himself another MG42 to be able to lock down some territories if possible. The half-track is out in the open, just sitting there because it's a half-track, and we see that Barton is utilizing this downtime and the Blizzard to recapture the rest of the map. Still no tech, so not exactly sure what Barton is going to be going for. Probably... well, I don't know. Actually, I really can't tell. I mean, fuel-wise, probably going tier 1 into either tier 4 or tier 3. I mean, he does have the tank hunter guys to be able to provide some additional anti-tank support, so I suppose tier 3 wouldn't be a horrible choice, but we're already 10 minutes in, so going tier 3 like to try to get a fast T70 really doesn't make much sense. So probably tier 4 and just eventually get Su-85s when necessary. But, well, I mean, his combat engineers are back on the field, so I'm assuming they're probably right here and going to be building something. We shall see. So anyways, up in the north, we see HelpingHans moving along with his half-track, putting his units right next to a cozy fire. We have some Pyos moving around in the fire there to capture that fuel in the north. He actually does get the point, or well, decap it at least. But the Partisans do move in, and against Pyos, they are actually quite formidable. At Veterancy 2, the Partisan says they get improved accuracy. I wonder if they have the exact values as the Conscript Veterancy. We shall see. Veterancy 1 gives them what? Yeah, the flare ability that most units get that nobody really uses. It is very rare to see it used, and the best use of it is when a sniper walks over it and gets killed. But yeah, let me take a look. Partisans, Partisan SMG, Partisan LMG. I guess those would be Partisan LMG. They get a 40% recharge reduction on the Molotovs, so they can throw Molotovs a little bit easier. Ooh, they can also lay down mines. I didn't know Partisans could do that. Nice. And they get the 40% accuracy, so yeah, it's pretty much the same as you would expect the conscripts, although the recharge is way more. I mean, conscripts only get a 25%. Oh, never mind. It's 25% range for the conscripts. This is 40% recharge. Okay. So anyways, the half-track being used right now to ferry units to get behind that MG42. Very nice. Panzer Grenadiers and an LMG Gren pop out behind the MG42, clearing it out completely, so that MG42 will be back in the hands of the Germans. We have the Partisans jumping into the house, trying to delay as much as they can. But up in the north, there is really nothing else to support. The Partisans jump out and are going to retreat. The SMGs on the Panzer Grenadiers doing quite a number on those Partisans. Down to 2 men, but they do make it out. MG42 picked up again by HelpingHans, back in his rightful hands. And the Grenadiers are going to get reinforced. So the blizzard is about to break, and we have, well, HelpingHans just managing to capture just a little bit of the sectors up in the north, but he is pushing into the center. Panzer Grenadiers going for the munitions. We have MG42, they got, no, that's not the one that got stolen. This is the brand new that got constructed. Moving down south here with Grenadiers moving to capture that strategic point. Grenadiers behind also as well. And very nice. So back at base now, we finally have tier 2 and tier 4 for Barton. So with that, he will be able to get a lot of anti-tank capabilities. That is Su-85s and AT guns. So that is very difficult to break. But so far, HelpingHans has not selected his Doctrine. And if he goes for the Elite Troops Doctrine, which if we see he has right there, and gets himself a Tiger Ace, well, he is going to need all that anti-tank power if he can. But we'll see what happens. So HelpingHans pushing down into the center. He has his Grens and his half-track right there. We have conscripts moving out. They jump right into the house and are going to be able to reveal territory. It looked like a mine got hit by the half-track. Quite unfortunate there for HelpingHans. He's going to try to crawl out of range, but we see that the conscripts and the Partisans have shifted their focus and are going to try to go towards that half-track. The MG42 set up in a very, well, I guess you could say awkward angle, was not completely covering this approach, and the conscripts managed to eke by behind it and get into a different angle. The half-track still crawling out of range. Pioneers are nowhere to be seen. They are actually up in the north, currently down to 2 men, so they will not be able to put any type of repairs. The half-track getting shot at by the conscripts in the house. It is crawling out of range very slowly, taking some additional shots. The MG42 turned around to shoot at the conscripts in that house. We have some combat engineers down south trying to get a little bit of a flank, but the Grenadiers do manage to stop them. And the MG42s and LMGs in the center. Veterancy 3 LMG Grents managing to hold the line just barely. The half-track crawling as slow as possible all the way over there. And we now see that Hans has selected his Doctrine. And it is not going to be the Elite Troops Doctrine. It is, in fact, going to be the Fortified Armor Doctrine. So that still means Elephant, so that could be interesting. I actually haven't seen an Elephant used in quite a while, at least not in replays. Well, at least not casting it is what I'm trying to say. So we shall see what happens. Su-85 now on the field for Barton, so he does get himself some type of mobile platform for fire. We see the conscripts over here getting annihilated, and Barton is now down to 1 conscript squad, 1 partisan, and 1 combat engineer. A second vehicle is getting produced, but unfortunately the way the overlay is set, I can't really tell what it is. It is a Katyusha. Ooh, very interesting choice there. Pack on now in the field for Helping Hands, taking a shot at that Su-85. Su-85 actually pushes forward. Very bold. Gets his focus sight in range and takes some shots at the pack gun. Is it trying to clear it out? Takes a second shot, misses. The pack gun does shoot in return and manages to nail it. The Grenadiers push forward right on top of the Su-85, but the Su-85 removes its focus sight ability and just backs off at full speed. Katyusha now in the field, opening up into the center, probably going to go straight at that pack gun. And we see the rockets flying. There we go, hitting the church, hitting everything. The MG-42 forced to retreat. The pack gun just pushes forward, so it's no longer in range. And the church is the only one really getting battered here. That's about it. So Katyusha getting one kill on the MG-42 members, but that's about it. Grenadiers pushing forward, capturing that spot. The pack gun sitting there, just taking shots at whatever it can. Grenadiers push back a little bit, and we have the southern side of the map pretty much controlled by Helping Hands. A lot of troop movement down there, and the half-track finally getting repairs, finally getting back to full strength, and it should pop in a second. There it goes. So the half-track now at full strength. Grenadiers backing off. We'll be able to get reinforced. Panzer Grenadiers down to 2 men, forced to retreat. Molotov landing right on top of them, and the north is currently vacated of any troop movements for anybody. So it looks like Barton is probably going to send his troops in that direction. Partisans add veteran C3. It says survivability and weapon accuracy. What that means is that they get a 30% increase in armor, a 20% accuracy increase, and they also get a 25% range increase on the Molotovs. So quite a buff there to the Molotovs. Very nice. So yeah, it is similar values to the conscripts, but not exactly the same. They do have some modified things. Katyusha barrage going down into the center over here. Not center, actually near Helping Hands' exit. But he actually manages to dodge that quite nicely, except with the Pyos that get nailed on the retreat with one, giving a little bit more kills. But fortunately, one member makes it out alive, so the Pioneers will be back for a fight. Rifle nade going down onto the Partisans. The Partisans have to retreat, taking some damage, but still alive. Back at base, we do have medics for Barton, so he should be able to heal those back up to full. And the Su-85 just continues to shoot, not being able to hit anything, still at 0 kills. Very small amounts of veterancy, and that's pretty much veterancy that has acquired from getting shot. And that's about it. Back at base, we do see Helping Hands going now for Tier 4, so skipping Tier 3 altogether. Probably going to be seeing some Panthers, maybe some Broombars, although Panther would probably be the logical choice, considering that it has a lot of speed and can very easily get behind an Su-85 and take it out. Katyusha barrage going down again into the center. Nailing one of the MG-42 members, but the rest of it is fine. The pack gun moves around, trying to dodge the shots, and it manages to do that quite easily. And the Katyusha just hits at random places. Grenadiers pushing into the center. They're going to get right on top of that Su-85. The Su-85 is going to get Fausted. No. The Grenadiers just, you know, they bluffed. They posed the threat of throwing off a Faust, but they just simply forced it to move away. Sorry. Partisans, conscripts, and combat engineers all pushing and forced into the center, trying to push away the German infantry, but currently right now Barton is essentially pinned into his base. The half-track is moving around, patrolling the area. Up in the north we have some Grens and conscripts engaging, but the conscripts are down to 2 men. They do throw a nice Molotov on the Grens, but the Grens dodge out of it and continue to hold the line. Grants up in the north going for that victory point, and point-wise we have Helping Hands sitting at 146, so he did get bled quite significantly, and Barton sitting at 321, so he has some time, and the Katyusha barrage in the center, not nailing anything, but, well, keeping the area clear, I suppose. MG-42 down south does manage to catch that conscript squad, which is now currently pinned down. The MG-42 does not kill anything. There it goes. Starts getting some kills on that because they are just sitting there in the fire, which they, well, shouldn't really be doing considering that they're not going to get any benefit. And there they go. They retreat. Taking some unnecessary damage, but there they go. Grens engaging against the Partisans and combat engineers. Down to 1 man. Trying to get a kill on that, but a nice nade there by a... Was that a Gren or a... Yeah, I think it was a Grenadier squad. A rifleman going down on the Partisans. Clears them out to one man, forces the retreat. Combat engineers trying to hold the line of two men. The Panzer Grenadiers do end up getting pushed away. And a nice Katyusha barrage in the retreat path. Can it actually nail anything? There's a lot of things in there. And look at the shots land, but nothing getting hit. That is quite an unfortunate barrage there for Barton. Panzer Grenadiers make it out alive. And, well, that MG42 does go down, unfortunately for Hans, but quite nice. And I believe the half-track did take a shot or a splash damage because it did take some significant damage. Conscripts pushing into the center, got to get an 18-8 off on that half-track. The half-track will go down to sustained small arms fires. The Pios are moving down to try to support it, but with a destroyed engine, it just goes out of control and will very slowly continue to go forward. Rifleman landing on the conscript, the gunner on top of the out of control half-track still going there, saying like, dude, come on, just put the parking brake on and I'll jump out. Let me jump out before you crash. And there it goes. A nice shot there by the Su-76 barrage. Ends up clearing out that half-track before it manages to crash. Down south, some conscripts going for the victory point, trying to slow down that bleeding. 2:33 left for Barton. Can he hold on? Well, he is going to be able to hold on. Katyusha barrages again into the center, being very annoying, very aggressive, but not doing a lot, unfortunately, for Barton. How many kills is it up so far? Well, 10 kills. That's actually quite good. Veterancy 1 acquired. That gives us the concentrated barrage, meaning it can potentially kill things a little bit easier, but it does have to spend munitions. And up in the north, we have some Grents capturing territory, going to get engaged by the Partisans. The Partisans are, well, they're not as great as you would expect, even with their Veterancy 3. They are going up against a Veterancy 3 squad. A Molotov does land, however, and gets some kills, but down to 2 men. Forces the retreat, however, so the Partisans do end up getting the victory there. Su-76 there for support. However, the Su-76 is not an anti-infantry platform, so it will not be able to get the kills there that it wants. Another Su-76 getting produced for Barton, so it's going to have double barrage ability. That's very nice. That's very powerful. The Su-76 barrage ability is just amazing. I love it. It's very powerful, very concentrated, so it's very accurate. And more Katyusha barrages, but these ones are landing down south. Barton sees that there is enemy movement down there. However, he does not manage to get any kills. The Grenadiers skirt right to the very edge of that point and make it alive. And now we have an elephant on the field for Helping Hands. That elephant will be able to deal with all these pesky little tanks, especially the Su-76. I wonder if they died in one hit. Probably not, probably two, but look at that thundering beast just crawling slowly into the battlefield, but with amazing range will be able to deal a lot of damage. And it actually has focus sight as well, just like the Su-85, which means it will be able to shoot anything that it looks at, as long as it's supported and not getting flanked, right? Conscripts and Grents engaging down south. Molotov landing on the Grents, but the Grents dodge that. MG42 opens up on the Conscripts as they retreat, and Panzer Grenadiers annihilate them on the retreat. Down to 1 man. Can he make it out alive? The Stormgivers make sure that that doesn't happen, and down goes the entire Conscript squad. Unfortunate loss there for Barton. He no longer has, well, he does have one Veterancy 1, I guess. I was going to say no longer he had any veteran conscripts, but yeah, there's still one left there. So the conscripts are, combat engineers are trying to engage the Panzer Grenadiers. The Panzer Grenadiers are, well, very hardy, very sturdy. They are Veterancy 3, which means they get 40% armor at Veterancy 2, and then accuracy and cooldown and all that, so yeah. Very strong. And we see this Su-76 getting shot by the elephant, apparently, getting a damaged engine, crawling very slowly out of range. The other Su-76 also damaged, and the Su-85 backs off, so the elephant, making itself known, did get 1 kill, and looks like it's an infantry kill, but not any veterancy, so maybe it wasn't the elephant. Combat engineers getting also annihilated down south. Down goes the Sippo, and with the last man gets shot on the retreat. Down in the far south, we have a conscript squad behind enemy lines going for the capture of this point. However, the victory point is this one right here, so Barton is still bleeding. Actually, no. It is currently stopped because of the northern point that is getting captured, and the fact that he has this other point. So yeah, he's actually going to be able to put the bleed back on Helping Hans' side. Grenadiers going over to the north. They will be able to push away that conscript squad, which is Veterancy 0. That is an LMG Veterancy 3 Grand Squad. Veterancy 3 for Grenadiers will give you already 40% accuracy at Veterancy 2 and 20% cooldown reduction at Veterancy 3. So that means they are more accurate and shoot faster. Not to mention, obviously, the armor and other buffs that they get, but yeah. with the LMG, they're going to be doing quite a bit of damage. So they do force it away. Helping Hands will be able to recapture that, although the southern point did get decapped, and Barton is going for the decap of this point. However, that won't do really that much, considering that the Elephant is already on the field, and as far as fuel goes, Helping Hands already has over 100, so looks like Barton rethinks that and goes for the victory point instead, because that is currently more important than resources. And the Partisans get engaged down south by a Grenadier Squad, Veteran C3. They are forced to retreat down to one man, and it looks like they're barely going to make it out alive. Those Partisans have been doing quite a lot of work, however, they are very good at this point. Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers engaging against conscripts. One squad forced to retreat. Second one probably going to be forced to retreat due to a bundle nade in the face. No, they actually just retreat because they're getting slaughtered by these small arms fires. And Katyusha barrage falling into the south, trying to nail any of the Grenadiers that he can. Two guys go down to one of the missiles, and more shots landing nearby. But it looks like the Grins are going to hold their ground. Oh, very, very lucky to be alive. Helping Hands says, okay, that's my cue to leave, even though the barrage had ended at that point. But yeah, that was very risky. So the Elephant moving very slowly into the center of the map. More troop movement from Helping Hands just moving around, and we now have a command tank for Helping Hands just to provide additional boosts. So it is interesting though that Helping Hands went for tier 4 because he actually hasn't gotten anything from tier 4. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, adapting on the fly and changing your strategy is something that the awesome players are capable of doing. But you know, it's weird that you would go for the tier and build it and everything, and then just not build anything out of it. Could have used those resources and that fuel to get columns and tanks if you wanted to. But yeah, I mean, I guess another Elephant would be quite a ways away anyways. But yeah, who knows? Elephant taking some shots into the center, almost clears out that Su-85. Su-85 in a lot of trouble, down to a sliver of health. The Elephant moving further up, gonna take some shots at the Su-76. Down goes one Su-76. The Katyusha barrage falling right on top of, well, behind the Elephant actually. More shots going down from, what actually? What is hitting the Elephant? Well, Elephant did take a shot to the engine. That's actually heavy engine damage. The Su-76 trying to move around and get behind the Elephant, but the command tank moving forward actually goes for the Su-85 and annihilates it. Katyusha now in a lot of trouble. The command tank very near it, but it doesn't look like he can actually see it. No, it looks like Helping Hands is not aware of that Katyusha right there, so he decides to back off and not go for the kill. Su-76 still sitting there, taking some shots at the Panzer IV. Very nice damage from that Su-76 in fact. And the Elephant just slowly backing off, trying to get back into range as it can. We have some anti-tank Partisans jumped into the church. They have PTRS rifles and are opening up as much as they can, but there's a lot of infantry nearby. And with the reduction of effectiveness in those squads, they are going to get cleared out before they run away. So those Partisans are dead. 125 to 159 points in the favor of Barton still. The Su-76 continues to shoot, just shooting ground through the building, aiming at the Elephant. The Elephant is taking some shots. The pack gun moves forward, and the Elephant and the pack are shooting through the building, and they manage to get the kill on the Su-76, but not before a last shot from the barrage goes off and clears out that pack gun. Conscripts pushing forward right on top of that Elephant. The Elephant is being supported, however, by MG-42s and Grenadiers. So one conscript squad is already pinned down, the other one gets behind it. Gonna throw a Molotov on that MG-42. The MG-42 gonna get cleared out, not even getting packed up, just gonna continue to shoot through the flames, push through the pain, and no, it does get retreated, and down to 2 men, barely makes it out. Elephant still on the field, very low in health. We have more partisan troops getting behind enemy lines, shooting with their PTRS rifles to their rear armor of the Elephant, but they do end up getting cleared out by bundle nades and such. Off they go. The second squad gets annihilated, so no more partisans on the field for Barton. And what is left on the field for Barton? He does have a Katyusha. Another Katyusha barrage could go down into the center, try to clear out that Elephant, but no, it looks like that's going to be it. Barton throws in the towel and says that's all she wrote. So very nice, very interesting, like I said, to see those partisan troops. We haven't seen enough of them, and it's a very weird way to play, but very nice if used properly. But yeah, unfortunately for Barton, HelpingHans just had the better hand here. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.